JROTC units across the United States and around the globe began this year's JLab 10 months ago. After a very tough competition among the academic teams from each service branch, we have now identified the finalists who will compete for the Joint Service National Championship. For the United States Marine Corps JROTC, from Allen, Texas, Allen High School. For the United States Air Force JROTC, from San Diego, California, Scripps Ranch High School. For the United States Navy JROTC, from Las Vegas, Nevada, Ed W. Clark High School. And for the United States Army JROTC, from Fullerton, California, Fullerton Union High School. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now congratulate the final 4 teams of the 2018 Joint Service Academic Championship. I'm privileged to have the opportunity to now introduce Mr. Dave Bykowski, who will be conducting the Joint Service Academic Championship. Mr. Bykowski has over 20 years of experience in organizing and executing thousands of academic bowl competitions around the world. Luckily for us, Mr. Bykowski and his team volunteered this service for JROTC students only. It is with great pleasure that I now bring up Mr. Bykowski to moderate and conduct this year's 2018 Joint Service Academic Bowl National Championship.
Good afternoon and evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to be here with you to serve as the moderator for this, the 7th ever Junior ROTC Joint Service Academic Championship. We have a field across 4 services of 64 teams that have competed this weekend, and now we are down to these final 4 teams. Let's give them one more round of applause, please. Assisting from our team, on behalf of College Options Foundation and Academic Initiative, assisting to help make this match possible today, working to clear the buzzer system, Mr. Jeremy Singer. Our official judge, Mr. Derek Winkler. Our official scorekeepers on the mic, Mr. Paul Nelson. And off mic to ensure that everything is also matching up on the score, Ms. Melanie Denzer. And Dr. Rowena Winkler. Teams, before we begin, we will do a buzzer and microphone check, starting closest to me and working our way down the line. So starting with Ed W. Clark, closest to me, please ring in and give your name and your year in school, please.
Lai, rising senior.
Russell, rising senior.
Mata, rising senior.
Tham, rising senior.
Sun, rising sophomore.
Gu, rising junior.
Hoy, rising senior.
Allen, rising sophomore.
Rising Junior. Zariva, Rising Senior.
Marquez, Rising Senior.
Sharma, Rising Senior.
Samantha Yakabachi, Rising Senior.
Merritt, Rising Senior.
Miller, Rising Senior.
Berquist, Rising Junior.
Teams for this match, again, as you've seen in the finals previously, I'll be trying to direct myself more focused toward you. You should hear some of my voice as well as the speakers from around. Is everyone able to hear and understand me clearly among the competitors? Yes, very good. Do you have any questions before we begin? Hearing none, to the audience, a couple friendly reminders. Number one, please ensure that you have either turned off or silenced your cell phones. And again, as much fun as it is to play along at home, please do not play along at home out loud. We want to make sure that our competitors have every opportunity to show off everything that they know and everything that they've done to get to this point in the competition. Now, let us begin this joint service championship match with the first quarter. The first quarter consists of 16 toss-up questions worth 10 points each. Teams, the best of luck, have fun, hands on your buzzers. Here we go with toss-up question number 1. The reagent LAH carries out this type of reaction when it converts an amide to an amine. In a galvanic cell, this type of reaction takes place at the cathode. For 10 points, Navy.
Reduction.
That is correct for 10 points. Number 2, pencil and paper ready. Carl flips a fair coin 4 times and needs to know the probability of getting exactly 3 heads. Since 4 flips gives him 16 total possible outcomes, Army.
0.0625.
That is incorrect. He is able to compute for 10 points. Air Force.
1/8.
That is incorrect. For 10 points, what probability of getting exactly 3 heads in 4 flips? You have 10 seconds to buzz. Marine Corps.
3/8.
That is incorrect. 10 seconds to buzz in. Navy.
1/4.
1/4 is correct for 10 points. Number 3. One novel by this author is partially set on the island of San Lorenzo, whose inhabitants, Air Force.
Vonnegut.
That is correct, Kurt Vonnegut, good for 10 points. Number 4. A speech by this president urged that the U.S. never negotiate out of fear and also never, Navy.
John F. Kennedy.
Is correct for 10 points. Never fear to negotiate. Number 5. Dennis Gabor invented this technology, which typically starts by splitting a laser into object and reference beams, then records their interference pattern. Shining an identical laser on the recording reproduces the original light field in, for 10 points, Navy.
Projection.
Incorrect, I'll continue. For 10 points, what method of creating 3D images? Air Force.
Hologram.
Yes, I can accept hologram or holography. Either one is good for 10 points. Number 6. Adding this number to the sample size gives the degrees of freedom for the student's t-test. This constant equals the correlation coefficient for points given by the function y equals minus 2x plus 1, which display a perfect negative correlation. For 10, Navy.
-1.
-1 is correct for 10 points. Question 7. This country's Guardians Council vets new laws produced by Majlis and elects the supreme leader. This country's system of Velayat-e-Faqih allows Shiite jurists to rule. For 10 points, name this Islamic republic whose president, Hassan Rouhani, Air Force.
Iran.
Iran is correct for 10 points. Number 8. This disease is treated with the medications Lantus and Novolog. When uncontrolled, it can cause ketoacidosis. In this disease, immune destruction of beta cells in the islets of Langerhans, Air Force.
Graves.
That's incorrect. I'll continue. Okay, Navy.
Diabetes.
Diabetes is correct for 10 points. Question 9. Overproduction of this hormone causes spider angiomas. It is produced by granulosa cells, which express aromatase. This hormone triggers a surge of LH, causing ovulation. Along with Army.
Estrogen.
Estrogen is right for 10 points. Question 10. This author is said to be ignorant of poetic meter in a speech given by one of his own characters, who works as a man of law. Another of this author's characters is a host who encourages pilgrims to listen to a story told by the wife of Bath. Navy.
Geoffrey Chaucer.
Say that one more time, please.
Chaucer.
What was the first name that you gave there? Geoffrey Chaucer. Okay, yes, Geoffrey, I'll take that. Yes, good for 10 points. Number 11. The power of this kind of mathematical thing is its relative distance to a circle. Euclid defined this as that which has no part and postulated that any two of these things, Air Force.
Lines.
Incorrect, I'll continue. Define a line. Army.
Points.
Points is what we're going for. Good for 10 points. Number 12. This state's community of Bombay Beach, which is geographically the lowest in the U.S., is on the Salton Sea. Army.
California.
California is right for 10 points. Number 13. This poet wrote that there are no ideas but in things in his epic poem, Patterson. Air Force.
Williams.
William Carlos Williams is right for 10 points. Number 14. Pencil and paper ready. Josephina needs to find the magnitude of the cross product of two vectors that each have a magnitude of 2 and that form a 45-degree angle. Since the magnitude of the cross product depends on the sine of the angle, she computes, for 10 points, Navy.
2 rad 2.
Say that one more time, please.
2 square root 2.
Yes, I said 2 rad 2, 2 radical 2, I think was what you were saying there. Right, okay, good. So 10 points. Number 15. Java version 7 uses Tim Peters' algorithm for this task, replacing a merge-based algorithm for it. Partitions around pivot elements are used in the quick algorithm for this task. Navy.
Sorting.
That's correct for 10 points. Number 16, the final toss-up of this first quarter. A president of this country was assassinated during a 1981 victory parade, 3 years after sharing the Nobel Peace Prize with Menachem Begin. Anwar Sadat once led Air Force.
Egypt.
Egypt is right for 10 points. That's the end of the first quarter. Go ahead and do a quick confirmation of the score.
And at the end of the first quarter, score we have right now, the Marines lead with 80. Scripps Ranch has 50. Fullerton Union has 30 for the Army. And the Marines, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, did I get you guys wrong? Yes, sir. Let me start over, thank you. Sorry about that. The Navy has 80, that sounds better, doesn't it? Scripps Ranch, the Air Force has 50. Fullerton Union for the Army has 30. And Allen for the Marines has 0.
All right, score is confirmed as announced and listed on the screen. Again, all 16 questions answered correctly in the first quarter, a good start. We'll move to the second quarter of the match. This is the toss-up bonus round. The second quarter consists of 8 toss-up questions worth 10 points each. The team that gets the toss-up correct has the first opportunity at a 3-part bonus totaling 30 points. Any bonus parts that they miss will be opened up to the other teams for an opportunity to steal. Other teams, since we have 3 other teams up on stage, will have to buzz in order to have the opportunity to steal those points. Teams, hands on your buzzers. Here we go with the second quarter. Question 1. Pencil and paper ready. Satoshi needs to find the value of the base 7 logarithm of 2,401, given that Air Force.
4.
4 is correct for 10 points. Let's go and have you buzz in just to go and lock out the buzzer system here real quick. Thank you. Your bonus coming here. The secure version of this protocol, often indicated by a lock icon, typically uses TLS for encryption and authentication. For 10 points each, number 1, name this protocol used for web pages. It returns a 404 error code if a requested file cannot be found.
HTTP.
That's correct. Number 2, HTTP requests may include this type of data with a food-inspired name, often to specify a username or other identifying information.
Cookie.
Yes. Finally, HTTP requests are sent to remote computers that respond to many clients and are known by this general name.
Server.
Correct. All right, for 30 points earned on the bonus. Question 2. Because King Aeneas forgot to worship this goddess, she sent the Caledonian boar to ravage his navy.
Artemis.
Artemis is correct for 10 points. Let's go and have you buzz in here. There we go. Pencil and paper ready. A right triangle has a hypotenuse whose length is the square root of 3, while its longer leg has a length of the square root of 2. For 10 points each, number 1, what is the length of the shorter leg?
1.
Is correct. Part 2, what is the sine of the largest angle of the triangle, given that it is the right angle? Captain?
1.
Correct. Finally, if the hypotenuse of a similar triangle has a length of 3, what is the length of the longer leg of the similar triangle? You have 10 seconds for this part. Answer, please.
Rad 6.
Yes, square root of 6, radical 6, all correct for 30 points earned on the bonus. Hands on your buzzers, teams, for toss-up number 3. This country's native language has 2 written standards, one of which is called Bokmal. Air Force.
Taiwan.
Incorrect, I'll continue. The islands Bouvet and Svalbard are in this country. Navy.
Norway.
Correct for 10 points. Bonus coming your way. Go ahead, thank you. For 10 points each, answer the following related to Christmas. Part 1. The Christmas story of shepherds coming to worship the newborn Jesus at a manger appears in this gospel attributed to the author of Acts of the Apostles.
Luke.
That's right. Number 2. This author wrote about how Scrooge develops the Christmas spirit in A Christmas Carol.
Dickens.
Yes. Finally, England banned the celebration of Christmas until this ruler, known as the Merry Monarch, reversed the decision after the Restoration.
Elizabeth I.
That is incorrect. Any takers on the buzzer? Air Force.
Mary.
That is incorrect. Army.
William.
That is incorrect. Marine Corps.
James.
Also incorrect. Charles II is who we're going for on that one. However, you picked up 20 points earned on the bonus. Navy. We'll go to toss-up question number 4. Pencil and paper ready. Your answer may be given in either degrees or radians for this question. Lisa needs to find the smallest positive value of x at which the secant of x equals 1. Since secant is the reciprocal of the cosine function, Navy.
0.
That is incorrect. I'll continue. She is able to compute for 10 points what value of x? You have 10 seconds to buzz in. Marine Corps.
1.
That is incorrect. Army.
90.
That is incorrect. 5 seconds to buzz in, Air Force. Air Force.
Pi.
That is also incorrect. We're looking for 360 degrees or 2 pi radians. We're looking for the smallest positive value of x on this one. So no bonus question for anyone, and we'll go on to toss-up question number 5. Heads up, players. In the title of the most recent novel by Thomas Pynchon, this adjective precedes edge. In a period named after this 8-letter adjective, border ruffians from Missouri promoted slaves. Air Force.
Bleeding.
Bleeding is correct. Bleeding Edge, Bleeding Kansas are the things we were referring to there. 10 points for the Air Force, and bonus coming your way. Pencil and paper ready. The logarithm of x equals 3 times the logarithm of y. For 10 points each, part 1. What is the value of x expressed in terms of y?
Y cubed.
Yes. Part 2. Since the logarithms of x and y both exist, x and y must both be greater than what number?
1.
That is incorrect. Marine Corps.
0.
0 is the right answer for 10 points. Air Force. Air Force will have you buzz in again and come back to you for the third part. If the base of the logarithm is x, then what is the value of the logarithm of the quantity 1 over y? You have 10 seconds to give your answer for this part. Captain, your answer, please.
Log y cubed.
That is incorrect. Navy.
-3.
That is incorrect. Army.
Negative log base x of y.
That is incorrect. 5 seconds to buzz in, Marine Corps. Marine Corps.
X to the power of y.
That is also incorrect. -1/3 is the right answer there. So we have 10 points earned and 10 points stolen on that one. And we go on to toss up question number 6. Hands on your buzzers, players. Uptake of a molecule with this geometry is the primary cause of ocean acidification. The simplest alkyne, Navy,
Linear.
is correct for 10 points. Bonus coming your way here. G.W.F. Hegel used the owl of this goddess as a symbol of philosophy. For 10 points each, number 1, name this Roman goddess of wisdom.
Minerva.
Yes. Minerva was the Roman equivalent of this Greek goddess, after whom the capital of Greece is named.
Athena.
Correct. Finally, Minerva, Jupiter, and Juno collectively make up a triad named after this hill of Rome. Tarpeia was thrown off a cliff at the top of this hill called the Tarpeian Rock.
The 7 hills.
More specific, please. Answer?
Saniac Hill.
That is incorrect. Air Force.
Capitol Hill.
That is incorrect. Marine Corps.
The 7 hills of Rome.
More specific, please. Answer? Time. 5 seconds to buzz in, Army, if you want it. Army.
Remus.
That is incorrect. Capitoline Hill is actually the name there. You picked up 20 points earned on the bonus question there, Navy. We move to toss-up question number 7. Pencil and paper ready. Aldrich needs to know the remainder that is left when x is divided by 3. Given that when x is divided by either 6 or 8, the remainder is 5. By finding an example of an... Army.
2.
2 is the right answer, good for 10 points. Go and have you buzz in for your bonus here. For 10 points each, name each of these African rivers. First part, there are blue and white tributaries of this river that flows past Cairo.
Nile.
Yes. Number 2, this river is the longest in South Africa and is named after the Dutch royal house. It shares its name with a color.
Red.
That is incorrect. Air Force.
Orange.
Orange is the right answer there. For 10, back to Army to go and have you buzz in here. For the third part, Victoria Falls are on this river that empties into the Atlantic Ocean at Mozambique. Captain, your answer, please.
The Mozambique River.
That is incorrect. Navy.
Congo.
That is incorrect. Air Force.
Zambezi.
That is correct, yes. Good for 10 points and a total of 20 stolen by Air Force on that one. 10 points earned by Army on the bonus there. Teams, this is the final toss-up of the second quarter. The Wounded Heart is the first of this composer's 2 elegiac melodies. One of his lyric pieces celebrated a wedding at his home of Troldhaugen. A Henrik Ibsen play inspired the Peer Gynt Suite. Air Force.
Grieg.
Edvard Grieg is the right answer there for 10 points. Bonus coming your way. For a periodic signal, this quantity is 1 over the period. For 10 points each, part 1, name this quantity measured in hertz.
Frequency.
Yes. In this phenomenon, a force oscillating at the natural frequency of an object will drive the object to large amplitude vibrations.
Resonance.
Correct. Finally, generating sounds by blowing across a bottle's top exemplifies a type of resonance named for this German physicist. He also names a type of free energy measuring the work obtainable from a thermodynamic system.
Gibbs.
That is incorrect. Army.
Gib.
That is incorrect. 5 seconds to... Navy.
Bernoulli.
That is incorrect. 5 seconds to ring in, Marine Corps. Marine Corps.
Newton.
That is incorrect. Hermann von Helmholtz was the answer there, called Helmholtz free energy. 20 points earned on the bonus, and we are at the halfway point of the match, teams. While we're going and taking a moment to verify the score, I want to let everyone in the audience here and at home know that questions for this championship match, as well as for this entire competition all weekend, are provided by National Academic Quiz Tournaments, LLC. With over 20 years in the business, they are the leaders in academic competition questions for middle school, high school, and college. You can find them online for question sales and other services at naqt.com. Let's go to Paul Nelson for an update on our score here as we go into the third quarter.
All right. At the end of the first half, Navy leads with 180. Air Force has 160. The Army has 50. And the Marines have 10.
Still a lot of game to be played here, so plenty of time for anything to happen as we move into the third quarter. The third quarter is the category round. The team that is in fourth place at this point in the match will choose one of 6 categories that are available for themselves. Each category consists of 10 questions worth 10 points each. The team that selects has the opportunity, the sole opportunity as a matter of fact, at all 10 questions. No bounce backs, no steals. After that, we'll proceed in the same manner with the team in third place, and then in second, and then in the lead at this point in the game. As a result, 2 of the 6 categories will not be used. Marine Corps, since you are currently in 4th place, you get the first selection here in the category round. The 6 categories available in this game are state governors, nutrition, flags, Latin phrases, poetic quotes, Nobel Prize winners. I'll go ahead and read those out one more time. State governors, nutrition, flags, Latin phrases, poetic quotes, and Nobel Prize winners. So, Marine Corps, we will begin with you for your selection from those 6 categories.
We choose Latin phrases.
Latin phrases it is. Again, no need to buzz in on any of these questions. They are all already yours for 10 points each. Give the common 2-word Latin phrases with each of the following meanings. Ready? Again, 5 seconds for each part. Number 1, my fault.
No answer.
Mea culpa. Number 2, blank slate. Answer, please.
Slate Blanca.
Tabula rasa. Number 3, what is actually the case in reality, often contrasted with de jure or de jure. Audience, please.
No answer.
De facto. Seize the day.
Carpe diem.
There you go. Number 5. Number 5, taking place in a test tube, petri dish, or other place outside a living organism.
A la Petri.
In vitro is the answer we're going for there. Number 6, in the year of the Lord.
Anno Domini.
Correct. Part G, and the rest, often found at the end of a list.
Etc.
Yes. Solid ground.
And terra.
Terra firma. Another self, literally the other I.
No answer.
Alter ego. And finally, always faithful, the motto of the Marine Corps.
Semper Fidelis.
That is correct. A good, strong finish to that category. All right, we will go now to the Army, entering the round in 3rd place. 5 categories remain. Which one would you like?
We'll take flags.
Taking flags, all right. We'll flip over to that one. Again, these questions are all just for you. No need to ring in. Answer the following about flags. Here we go. Number 1, country whose flag includes green, white, and red stripes, as well as an eagle holding a serpent.
Mexico.
Yes. Number 2, 2-word name for the British flag.
Union Jack.
Yes. Tree depicted on Lebanon's flag.
A pine tree.
It's a cedar, a green cedar specifically. Part D, European country whose flag is a red square containing a white cross?
Switzerland.
Right. Again, audience, please, let's be careful not to play at home out loud. Thank you. Part 5. Constellation on Australia's flag.
Ursa Major.
The Southern Cross, or crux. Number 6. Arab nation with a green flag that includes the Shahada, or Islamic creed.
Saudi Arabia.
That's right. Number of points on the star on Israel's flag.
6.
Yes. Symbol in the middle of Canada's flag.
A maple leaf.
Yes. Symbol that crossed a hammer on the Soviet Union's flag.
A sickle.
Correct. Finally, the motto Order and Progress appears on a blue circle in this nation's flag.
Brazil.
That is right. A strong finish for you on that category. Well done. Next up, we come to the Air Force in second place. 4 categories remain. Which one would you like?
We'll take nutrition.
Nutrition, it is. Again, no need to buzz in. All yours, 10 points apiece. Answer the following about nutrition in humans. Number 1. Most nutrients are absorbed in this organ's jejunum and ileum.
Small intestine.
Correct. Term for healthier fats that contain carbon-carbon double bonds.
Unsaturated.
Right. Nutrient added to grains to prevent birth defects. Captain?
Vitamin B.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Vitamin B.
More specific, please.
Vitamin B12.
That's incorrect. Folic acid, or folate, or vitamin B9. Number 4, collective term for indigestible carbohydrates.
Fibers.
Right. Obesity measure proportional to weight divided by height squared.
BMI.
Or body mass index, yes. Number 6, red meat is a good source of this metal found in hemoglobin.
Iron.
Correct. Term for amino acids that humans cannot make. Answer, please.
Acidic.
Essential is the answer we're going for there. Number 8, iodized salt helps maintain this gland's normal function.
Thyroid.
Correct. Within 1, number of nutritional calories in a gram of carbohydrates. Answer, please.
8.
Anywhere between 3 and 5. Going for 4. Finally, rickets is caused by a lack of this vitamin.
Niacin.
It is vitamin D, or D1, or D2, or D3, or cholecalciferol, or ergocalciferol. Any of those would have been acceptable, but a good run on that category for you, Air Force. Navy, you've been waiting a long time. We have left for you state governors, poetic quotes, and Nobel Prize winners. Which would you like?
Nobel Prize winners, please.
Nobel Prize winners it is. All for you. Here we go. Name these individuals who won the Nobel Prize given their field and accomplishment. Number 1, in medicine for discovering penicillin. Answer, please. Time. Sir Alexander Fleming. Number 2, in chemistry for helping discover 10 elements, including plutonium and californium.
Seaborg.
Correct. In literature for novels such as The Good Earth.
Smith.
Pearl S. Buck is what we're going for there. Number 4, in physics for explaining the photoelectric effect.
Einstein.
There you go. Number 5, in peace for negotiating the end of the Russo-Japanese War.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Yes. In economics for developing his namesake equilibrium concept in game theory. Captain, your answer, please.
Keynes.
Good try. John Nash, the answer there. In literature, for novels such as 100 Years of Solitude.
Marquez.
I need more specific, please.
Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
There you go. Garcia is the part we were looking for there. Good for 10 points on that part. Number 8, in peace for founding the Missionaries of Charity and working with India's poor.
Gandhi.
Mother Teresa, the answer on that one. In physics for discovering X-rays.
Curie.
Wilhelm Röntgen. And finally, in medicine for studying Drosophila fruit flies and proving chromosomes carry genes. Captain, your answer, please.
Smith.
Thomas Hunt Morgan, the answer on that one. Tough category for you to end the third quarter. And going into the fourth quarter, let's go to Paul Nelson for a score check.
Thank you. At the end of the third quarter, I have the Navy and the Air Force tied at 220. The Army follows at 130, and the Marines follow at 50.
All right, anybody's game. Before we get into the fourth quarter, I just want to take a moment to say a big thank you to all of my team that has helped to make this competition possible this weekend. There are a number of individuals here that this doesn't happen. I'm not standing up here in front of you without an outstanding team that supports all of you in order to make this competition happen. And I just want to take a moment to recognize those people who are here with us today and some of their accomplishments, and just perhaps to give a little brief inspiration perhaps for some of you out there as far as the things that may lie before you. Joining us, we have a first-time volunteer, a JD from American University, who is an attorney from Hawaii, now in DC, and he won some money on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire as well, Mr. Dennis Chong. A longtime volunteer, a high school librarian who is the coach of the high school academic team, holding degrees in English and history from Washington College, and one of our official scorekeepers here, Ms. Melanie Denzer. A three-time game show contestant, and he can tell you about his winnings later, and an 8-year veteran in the Navy as a Korean linguist, now pursuing a master's degree using the GI Bill at American University, Mr. Steve Kaltenbach. The former president of the Missouri Quiz Bowl Alliance, and his 6th year joining us here on our team, originally from Missouri, Mr. Paul Nelson. He studied biochemistry at UCLA and got a master's in infectious disease at Georgetown. He also has a nice sum of money from a win on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and has been involved in academic competition for over 10 years, Mr. Chris Nune. A graduate of James Madison University and now a government civilian, as well as an active volunteer with the Alpha Phi Omega Service Fraternity, and one of our logistics co-coordinators, Ms. Megan Sheedfar. Holding a bachelor's in materials science engineering from the University of Maryland, a master's in education also from Maryland, and teaching middle school math right here in Silver Spring, Ms. Zara Simpson. A graduate of Haverford College who teaches math in D.C. public schools as well as economics, and also a resident of Silver Spring and a longtime volunteer, and, oh, by the way, my best man at my wedding, Mr. Jeremy Singer. A 5th and 6th grade teacher at Andrews Air Force Base with an undergraduate and master's degree at the University of Maryland, and a first-time volunteer, originally from Philadelphia, Ms. Laura Warner. A software engineering manager from Boeing, holding a bachelor's in computer IT and pursuing a master's degree at Georgia Tech in computer science, and the only other person on my team who's been here for every single one of these competitions that we've run. No wonder he's my chief of staff, Mr. Derek Winkler. Holding master's degrees and PhDs in communication from the University of Maryland, and a copywriter for a software company, and happens to be Derek Winkler's wife, Dr. Rowena Winkler. And finally, a reference librarian from the town of Windsor with a master's degree in library science from the University College in London, and a logistics co-coordinator, and perhaps most personally to me, the most important title, my wife, Ms. Danielle Tapper. Again, to all of you, I want to say thank you. This event is not possible with all of you, as well as numerous other volunteers that have been part of this weekend who were unable to be here for this championship match. And I want to say thank you to all of you for your time for this competition. Really, I certainly appreciate it, and I know the cadets and the sponsors all here appreciate it too. So thank you very much. Teams, we move into the fourth quarter of this match. The fourth quarter consists of 16 toss-up questions worth 20 points each. Hands on your buzzers. It is anybody's game. Good luck. Here we go. Number 1. This scientist, sometimes called the second Adam, used the term paradoxa to describe mythical creatures like the Hydra. In his book Systema Naturae, he proposed the use of binomial nomenclature. Air Force.
Linnaeus.
Linnaeus is correct. Carolus Linnaeus for 20 points. Number 2. This man led the army that carried out the brutal siege of Drogheda. While serving under Thomas Fairfax, this man led a decisive cavalry attack at the 1645 Battle of Naseby. For 20 points, name this new model army leader who became Lord Protector after the English Air Force.
Cromwell.
Oliver Cromwell is right. 20 points. Number 3. This novel is presented as Professor Piechotto's analysis of a set of cassette tapes. The May Day movement seeks to overthrow Army.
A Handmaid's Tale.
That's right, 20 points. Number 4. 3 of these segments intersect at the incenter of a triangle. To construct one of them, Navy.
Bisecting segment.
Say that one more time, please.
Angle bisecting segment.
Yes, angle bisector. Bisector was actually all we needed there, and all of your information was still accurate. Good for 20 points. Number 5. The giant ships constructed for this emperor were found in Lake Nemi in 1930. He reportedly sent troops to collect seashells near the English Channel and wanted to make Incitatus, his horse, a consul. Navy.
Caligula.
Caligula's right for 20 points. Number 6. This quantity is named after a scientist who proposed that at a given temperature and pressure, equal volumes of gas have the same number of molecules. The ratio of grams to Army.
Charles.
That is incorrect. I'll continue. Air Force.
Avogadro.
Avogadro. Avogadro's number is what we're talking about there. Good for 20 points. Pencil and paper ready. Rachel needs to know how many minutes it will take her to walk 1.3 miles, given that she walks at a speed of 2 miles per hour. By first computing the time in hours, then converting Army. Answer, please.
78 minutes.
That is incorrect. I'll continue. Navy. Answer, please.
74.
That is incorrect. I'll continue. She finds, for 20 points, what number of minutes? You have 10 seconds to buzz in. Marine Corps.
39 minutes.
That is correct for 20 points. Number 8. In this country, the Montoneros were wiped out in the national reorganization process. The Mothers of the Plaza de Mayo is a group of women whose children disappeared during this country's dirty war. For 20 points, Navy.
Argentina.
Argentina is right for 20 points. Number 9. Early in this politician's career, he supported anti-apartheid legislation, funding to protect aid to Egypt and Israel, and free elections and better treatment of refugees in Myanmar, Cambodia, and Macedonia, but has since become more wary of supporting foreign aid. This politician is married to Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao. For 20 points, name this Kentucky politician, the current Senate Majority Leader. Navy.
Mitch McConnell.
Yes, good for 20 points. Number 10. In the play Antigone, this son of Everus and Chariclo tells Creon that Phoebus' sickness is Creon's fault. At Army.
Polynesies.
That is incorrect. I'll continue. Navy.
Oedipus.
That is incorrect. I'll continue. As punishment for hitting a pair of copulating snakes with his staff, Hera transformed this man into a woman. For 20 points, name this blind Theban prophet from Greek mythology. Air Force.
Tiresias.
Yes, that's correct for 20 points. Number 11. Some organisms in this kingdom can form a symbiotic association with a plant root called a mycorrhiza. Air Force.
Fungi.
That's right, 20 points. Number 12. A slogan that punned on this politician's name noted that the Democrats poked their enemies in 1844. After defeating Winfield Scott to become president, this man nullified the Missouri Compromise. Navy.
Pierce.
Franklin Pierce is right for 20 points. Number 13. Pencil and paper ready. Mia needs to find the degree of the polynomial that results from multiplying together the two polynomials x cubed plus 2x plus 9 and x to the fourth. Air Force.
7.
7 is right for 20 points. Question 14. With James Hartle, this man created a no-boundary proposal for the Big Bang. With Jacob Bekenstein, he showed that pair production at the event horizon causes his name. Air Force.
Hawking.
Stephen Hawking is good for 20 points. Question 15. The Chickamauga branch of this tribe separated from it in the 1770s under the leadership of Dragging Canoe. The Treaty of New Achota allowed this tribe to be forcibly removed as part of the Trail of Tears. Air Force.
Cherokee.
Correct. 20 points. Question 16. Pencil and paper ready. Manuel wants to borrow 4 library books out of a stack of 6 and needs to know how many different combinations he could create. Since the order of selection is not important, he computes for 20 points. Air Force.
15.
15 is the right answer for a final 20 points, and that is the end of the match. And having confirmed the score, let's go ahead and announce the final score. Mr. Paul Nelson.
Thank you. At the end of the match, the Marines finished with 70. The Army finishes with 150. The Navy finishes with 320. And the Air Force finishes with 400 points.
Again, a big congratulations to all of you on an excellent championship match, and congratulations on everything that you've accomplished during this competition all weekend long. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the academic championship portion of the JLab activities. One more time, let's give a congratulations to now your three-time champion, Scripps Ranch High School, representing the Air Force. Again, thank you very much, and we'll look forward to seeing all of you back here next year. Good night.
Please follow me.